Welcome to Brilliant Essence, everyone. This is Astrid Stromberg. I will be your host for the next hour, and today we have actress Dee Wallace with us. Welcome to the show, Dee.
Oh, thank you, beautiful person. How are you this morning?
There's some anxiousness in the air. I don't know if you've noticed these days, so I'm going to pass. I'm channeling, so I'm going to pass right through it and introduce you to I believe my co-host is with us, Thomas Hughes, who's particularly interested in Sasquatch and the prophecies of the American Indians. He has his own show here on BTR, and he sometimes joins me to come on the show and meet the people that I meet, which is the whole object, the whole goal of this show is for you to be introduced, you listeners, to be introduced to inspiring and amazing people who live their brilliant essences. Dee Wallace being one of them. I received her book Bright Light about 2 weeks ago, and I flipped through it in basically 3 days. I read it all from top to bottom. It's an amazing book. I was completely surprised. Dee, let me see. I'll read you a little bit of Dee's bio here. If I can find it. Where are you, Dee? You know, when Spirit doesn't want me to work in a certain way, it just gives me a hard time. So I'm just going to tell you how I came across Dee. First of all, I don't have TV, so I don't watch TV, and I don't know. I have a very, very poor memory for names, so I don't know many actresses and actors, let alone their names, because I sympathize and I empathize so much with the character on the screen when I do get to see a film that I totally forget who's the person behind the role, you know. And Dee Wallace has appeared, I believe, in over 130 films. She's done big screen TV. I believe she was in E.T., the very famous E.T. film. E.T. Come Home, you know, and she's also been in many TV series, and I think the reason why I didn't quite connect with her until I saw her picture was because when she plays her roles, it's so incredibly authentic and real that you just forget the actress. And in fact, when you read the book, you have a complete understanding of how she can do that. Because this book, if you're a budding actor or a veteran actor or even not an actor at all like me, you will find this book incredibly inspiring, very fact and life-relating, and a beautiful story, a beautiful journey. And I think you're still continuing on with that, Dee. Not only are you continuing the workshops and the filming and the mothership.
Yes, I'm juggling a lot of fabulous creative endeavors right now and loving every minute of it. I sure am. Thank you for the lovely intro, by the way.
You're welcome.
I don't think you can give an actor a greater compliment than what you just said, that we lose ourselves and become the character. That's what every actor, I hope, that's what their intention is. So.
And in reading the book, you get to understand that it's like a muscle that you just need to tune into and basically relax in yourself, in being yourself, you know, and practice it. There's different kinds. I have to skip to the part where you went to two very different coaches. Mm-hmm. One earlier on, who taught in a more rhythmic, measured way.
Well, she taught from a mind place of breaking everything down very consciously and methodically, and it came very much from the mind, which was not how I tapped into my creativity the best. When I got out of my mind and was able to open up my channel, then I was free as an actor. But, you know, I studied with Uta Hagen first, and I have great endearing respect for Miss Hagen and the brilliance that she was in her craft, but her method for me wasn't the most embracing and empowering method that I could use as an actor. And I think it's very much a metaphor for the creation process itself, that we are taught to go to our minds and our manipulation and our plans and our breaking down of how to get there first, and that's not really how spirit works. You know, we get divine ideas through instinct and inspiration, and then we need to go to our mind and direct our mind how to create that divine inspiration that we're given.
It's a little bit like in life when if someone says you have to be creative, and so you're in your mind thinking, okay, how can I be creative? How can this work? How can function, structure, blocks and pillars and construction, building ideas, when in fact it's in the release and in the relaxation of the flow of creation that it happens.
Yep, beautifully said. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when I do that in my acting, you see performances like Cujo and E.T. and that are just effortless. When you don't release and just allow the energy to move through you, then you see the work, and it may be competent work, but it is not heart-affecting work like the other work is. Right.
And that's one of the things that film absolutely has to get out of the screen are the emotions. We need, as viewers, we need to feel as we watch.
Yes, and we need to feel authentically. So much in television right now, I find, is they are truly afraid of going for the authentic emotion. I have a theory about this, that after 9/11, we all just went, oh my God, I just have to stop feeling for a while. I can't even go to the enormity of what I feel around this.
Right.
And so we've kind of pulled back authentically experiencing what we need to experience. And creation is all about experience. You can think it, you can affirm it, you can pray it, you can meditate on it, but if you don't fill yourself with the experience of the love and the joy and the freedom and become that first, then creation, first of all, isn't as much fun, and second of all, it's not as powerful and as expansive.
So I have a question for you.
Well, I hope I have an answer.
Can you talk a little bit about the place of love in creation?
Yes, love is creation itself. There is no separation. And I know that that's a message I'm supposed to take out into the world, because those of us who are on a spiritual path are really being called to move into our powerful selves. That's right. Authentically who we are. But unfortunately, so many of us have been taught that power is not a good thing, that power means you have to pick up the sword and go into your mind and bring the struggle in for creation. That's not what true power is. Our true power is the force of love that we are. And when we know that we take our force of love, grace of love, into the power that we are wanting to create, then there is no separation, and the power becomes the love, which it has been all the time. But, of course, as you believe, it's delivered unto you. So if you believe love and power cannot live together, that's what you create in your life. And I'm saying to all of those of us who are focused on unconditional love, peace, harmony, and bliss in this world, if we do not come forward in the power of love that is the creation of that, the people who are not focused on those things come forward in their description of power, and then we get to stand back and blame them for not having the world created the way we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
That it's an out for us.
It's a excuse me?
Well, it's a way we give ourselves the out of not taking responsibility for creating the world the way we want it.
Right. Responsibility is a big one, but responsibility in the choice of perspectives.
Exactly.
Because it's as easy to say I don't like what I see as it is to say, ooh, I do like what I see.
Well, and to choose to see and be the perspective that you're seeing with. You know, I mean, we all get sort of the concept of I see the glass half full, I see the glass half empty. But the extension of that is that you see it half full or half empty because you're the creation of how you see it. So if we are going to change the world, we have to create ourselves first. Right.
You know, I've been having amazing psychic experiences lately, and I'm sure you have too. Would you like to share a few of those with our audience today? I'll give you an example of one of mine lately that's been happening a lot. Is that the outside has been shape-shifting. The faces of people have been transforming before my eyes. So I don't know if it's past lives that are coming out, you know, or if it's, I don't know what it is. But
well, I think it's all of it. I literally think we are in the midst of,
you know, that's the feeling I get too.
Of creating new energy on Earth. Now, you can't create new energy, but you can certainly create the new facade of energy when the belief system changes.
Right.
And I think what I'm getting is that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm seeing also, I'm seeing different things. I'm also seeing the fact that time does not exist. There's a moment in space where time does not exist.
Yeah, well, time is a belief system.
Well,
again, it's a reality to us because we believe in it.
Right.
But, you know, we used to believe the world was flat, too. We used to believe we couldn't run a 4-minute mile. So what we're challenged with today is we have to think new thoughts and have unlimited thoughts that have never been thought before. And then, as you so accurately describe it, the world appears to be changing right before our very eyes. It has to, because it has to be in harmony and mirror the beliefs that the collective whole is holding. Right.
And there is a space of spiritual conscious awareness where you live, you experience that state of, that level of consciousness where everything and anything is possible right now in your experience. And this is, you know, it can be as extraordinary as having your entire, instead of standing on in the house, you're standing on the beach immediately in nanoseconds. That is possible. And there are times when you get to experience that, and I'm sure that many people are like, what on earth just happened, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible to us if we can open our minds to the possibility of that miracle. Anything and everything is possible to us. We are the only limitations that we have.
Right. Well, we're speaking the same language, obviously. I'd like to read a little bit of an excerpt of your book, Bright Light, which is co-authored with John Nelson.
Well, John Nelson was my editor on it. All the writing is mine, but he was such a important part of directing me and keeping me on task with the book that I wanted to give him credit on the front of the book, but all the writing is moi.
Yeah, it's obviously very, very authentic. Here's the next excerpt. And it was painfully clear in class, this is at the beginning of the book, about the high energy zone. And it was painfully clear in class when any of the students were fighting this approach. Zen in the art of archery was about the journey of a novice archer from the West, learning how to shoot a bow from the Zen way of thinking, which meant no thinking at all. For months, the teacher made the young man just hold the bow, then the arrow, and then the bow and the arrow together. For months, he wasn't allowed to shoot the arrow. Be at one with the bow, the master would instruct him. Don't think about your equipment. Don't think about hitting the target. Don't think about the intention. Just become one with the tools. This approach to acting was an enormous challenge for actors who had come from the Method School of Acting and university programs. So this is just part of the book. How did you experience that at the very beginning, Dee?
Well, for me, it was freedom. I got it right away because I've never been a linear thinker. I can come to the end of the road and go, okay, well, there's the sun, there's the beach, there's the mountains, and over there's the city, and so obviously I have to turn right. Well, it would always be left. That's just the way my mind worked. You know, if I sat down to figure something out, I always went the wrong way. If I just dropped into my heart and went, okay, what does it feel like? Which way should I go? I always went the right way. And so this was really freedom for me. The challenge was taking this into the business of acting. I got it in the creative part of acting. When it came to the business of acting, though, right, I still had the belief that I had to leave my instinct, leave my guidance, and figure out how to do it. Right. And I think to this day we're still doing that. We don't understand that whether we call it our business, our art, our talk shows, whatever, that it's all the business of creation, all of it. And if we can simply move into the trust of allowing ourselves to channel the highest voice, which is our voice if we get out of the way, then we're always guided to what's going to be the clearest and quickest way to get where we want to go.
Right. Beautiful. I want to allow Thomas, if he's still on the phone, to pitch in anytime. Thomas, welcome to the show. Thomas, my co-host.
Thomas, are you there?
I am here. I do my best when I get out of the way, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say hi. I didn't even hear whether you were there.
Oh yeah, I made it. I always like talking with you, Dee. It's a pleasure to hear your voice again.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, and we have, if you're on the switchboard, if you're calling in and you would like to ask a question, lift your hand by pressing 1 on your keypad, and we will pick you up.
I do have one question, if I can ask one question.
Sure.
What was it like? I know you've probably had this question posed to you a million times, but what was it like working on the set of E.T.? What kind of things happened that were kind of mind-blowing or head-spinning?
You know, I would like to tell you that magical, incredible things happen on the set, but I really have to be honest, guys. Doing a movie is really hard work. It's hard work. There's a lot of waiting around, which drives you absolutely crazy. There's long hours. You get tired. You know, you can butt heads creatively with people. So I think if I had to answer that, the most magical thing that happened on E.T. was the connection with the kids. That I just had this amazing, effortless connection with the children on the set. The magic really happened after the movie came out, and we saw how incredibly it affected the entire world. That's when the magic really happened.
Right. The theme of the children, you connecting with children, is throughout your life, apparently, Dee.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think it's probably, be as a little child, and you enter the kingdom. And there's a lot to be said for that, and I addressed that in the first part of Bright Light because I talk about my naivete. And kids are naive. They just expect to get the part. They expect the world to show up. They expect Christmas morning to happen. And that's a beautiful part of creation. If we can just, again, as adults, move back into that childlike acceptance that it's all good and we're taken care of, Santa's going to show up, and I'm going to get the toy I want.
Right. Oh, how nice. I'm going to read you a second excerpt here. Let me see. I'm not guided, Spirit's guiding me. So it starts. I anticipated hearing from my agent within days. A week later, when I hadn't heard back, I called him. What the hell was going on? Stay out of it, Dee, I pushed him. Stay out of it. You're just going to get nutty. Again, I pushed. Okay, the studio wants to do it for ... Suffices to say, a very meager sum. What? I exploded. I could hear him sigh over the phone. We're working on it. I'll get back to you. I was stunned. That's another one of those patterns that come along the book is your relationship to the financial side of your creation.
Yes. Well, I think for many of us, you see, making the money creates the illusion of power for us. And for those of us who have messages like I did, being the good little girl from Kansas that I was, don't get too big, don't go too far, don't have too much, you never should have more than you absolutely need, blah, blah, blah. Then every time money came up for me in my life, whether I had a lot of it or didn't have enough of it, or was in negotiation to be paid what my agents thought I was worth, then all of these subconscious underlying beliefs and fears and messages had to start playing out someplace in my life. I had to sabotage me. I had to create somebody else sabotaging me. Somehow, my soul said, Dee, this lifetime you got to deal with this. Do you want to be powerful and know that your power comes from the love of who you are, or do you want to give up all your power because you were told you can't be too powerful and money represents that? So I think that's a confusion and a clarity that many, many, many of us are challenged with, especially in the spiritual world, where we are told to be humble and live in humility, and I don't think that that's what the greater energy wants us to be.
Not in that sense.
Yes, we have to know that we are powerful creators. We are powerful creative force. And that the highest power that we create with is the love that we are. But we certainly do not hold ourselves back in any way. And that's why I wrote Bright Light. I say in the beginning, this is my story. It's your story, too. We have all been belittled, abandoned, taught to be smaller, raped in some way, humiliated in some way. We've all got a story, or stories around having our power taken away from us. And it's time for us to know that nobody took it away. We gave it away. We decided to turn our light down because we didn't know any better, and we are the only ones that can access and shine our bright light again and be the power of love we're supposed to be in this world.
You know, in the film industry, I've noticed beautiful direction from women. And lately, of course, the Ban Ki-moon, the United Nations secretary, said that the women should speak up and show their empathy and love. It was time for the women to raise in the consciousness of the world, and I'm seeing it happen more and more. How were you accepted as a woman in your industry, and what do you think of all this woman growth?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the divine feminine, and I just want to point out that the divine feminine is within every sex. And the most important thing that we can claim, direct, and know right now is that we are the balance of masculine, feminine, and child. Because when all those three are in balance, creation happens. I do believe that the Western woman and the Eastern woman they're coming from it from different points of view, all right? And when we come together, that's when the shift happens. So, again, the Western woman is given the power to take the message out into the world. We have claimed the equality of having the right to say what we want to say in the way we want to say it. And it takes that power and that permission and that definition of the self in order to take the message out there. And the message that we want to take out there is what the Eastern traditions know, that it is about the instinct, about the intuition, about the channel, the open channel. That's where we receive our highest guidance. So you put those two things together, you have, again, the powerful and clear message of creation in this world.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. During that, I was thinking back on the numerology of the yin and yang of this year, 1-1, and when you said open channel, it drew me back to the meditations that I've been doing, consciously practicing the art of, it is not just about being an open channel, it is also creating yourself within that channel and merging with the outer aspects of yourself to flow, because you have a purpose.
Yes, and I would even take it a little bit beyond that in the knowing that there isn't any separation of the aspects of who we are. That's an illusion, and that's a belief that creates the separation. That literally, when we know we are the I, all separation vanishes, and it's just the one energy. That's all there is. That's all there ever has been and will be. And, science and spirituality are in agreement about that. All there is energy. We learned that in 5th grade. That's all there is energy. What we create out of the energy creates the illusion of the separateness of it. But it's the same energy. The same energy that you create hate with is the same energy you create love with. It's just a different choice, just like you're taking water and saying, okay, well, I'm going to make it ice. No, I'm going to heat it up and make steam. That's all we're doing is playing around with the different creations of energy in this world.
So talking about playing around with the different energies here, we've got a chat room open, and I believe people are trying to call in. So there's someone who says, ask her if she knows she shares a birthday with Nostradamus.
No, I didn't, but I feel very empowered by that. Maybe I'm Nostradamus reincarnated. You know.
There you go.
I mean, we're all one energy, right?
We are all one.
That's a cool piece of information. I wonder how they found out what day Nostradamus was born. That's interesting to me.
Okay, let's see if the first caller desires to have the question. 740, you're on the air.
Hi, Astrid. This is Mark from Ohio. How are you guys?
Hi, Mark. Good to hear you.
It's been a while since I chatted with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to ask your guest if she had ever heard this. I think I read a book once. It's called The Secret History of Extraterrestrials by Len Kasten, and he said that when the movie E.T. was first screened at the White House, I think it was President Reagan that told the people there in the room that just watched the movie that if they knew how real that movie actually was, that they would all be shocked. And I wondered if she had heard of that.
I hadn't heard of that, but that doesn't surprise me at all. That's very interesting. I wonder if Snopes would verify that for us. But I'm on tour right now with Dolores Cannon, who is one of the most recognized past life regressionists in the world and has done a lot of regression therapy with people supposedly that have had these meetings with aliens. And we had a big discussion of that this weekend over dinner. And, she said to me, Dee, in all my years, and I've regressed a lot of people that have been abducted and had meetings with extraterrestrials. I've never found any proof to substantiate anything other than they are here to love, guide, and protect us. So I put that out to everybody because I don't think it's by any mistake that I was chosen to play Mary in E.T., which is one of the few movies that portray an extraterrestrial as a force of love in this world, which is what I know is the truth about all energy. So if you haven't read any of Dolores' books, you should go to her website and check out some of her work if you're interested in this. It's quite fascinating. Thank you for that. I had not heard of that, no.
Yeah, I've heard of Dolores Cannon. She has some really fantastic material. One of her books, I think, is called The Convoluted Universe. Yes. I've heard her.
There's actually 1, 2, and 3, I think. And she has several books out on, the one I'm reading right now is called Beyond Abduction, which is a lot about the alien information that she has compiled through her past life regression therapy sessions.
Well, thanks for chatting with me and Astrid. I'll let someone else call in. It's a great show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark. That's always interesting. The great thing about being who I am is that I get so many experiences personally, and then I have so many friends outside of me who are interested in all the experiences that I get to experience for myself, validated, and it's like going down 60 million rabbit holes at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's all just one big pot of energy, so we might as well get out and explore it all, right?
That's right. All right, I'm going to pick up the next caller. 403, you're on the air.
Hi, it's Lainey. Hi, Astrid.
Hi, Lainey. Another one of my great friends.
First of all, just for whatever reason, I wanted to ask Dee if she does any healing work.
Oh, I do healing work from across the world every day. I have 2 international global radio shows on, free call-in shows. I just did one this morning at 8 o'clock, and I do private sessions from all over the world, yeah. My gift is that I have become very clairaudient, and my specialty is I can kind of go very quickly into somebody's energy system and extrapolate a truthfulness about what's blocking what they want to create consciously, whether it's a fear or a genetic predisposition or whatever it is. So that's the basis of my work. If you have anything you're wondering about, I'll see if I get any information about it.
Go for it.
Well, you tell me, like, you know.
What would you want me to tell you?
Well, wherever you think you have a block in your life, and I don't understand why if I want this, I keep getting that, or what's this fear about, or where did it come from, or anything like that.
Yeah. I had a question earlier. That was when you were talking about your getting the part in E.T., and that it was like a back and forth thing, sort of like the donkey pulling the rope. And I was just wondering where in that does if resistance is met, do you push forward and continue to push forward?
No, you don't ever push. You don't ever
push?
No, because what right now, push against the wall. What happens? All you get is resistance. And the wall doesn't move.
Okay.
Because the reason that you're pushing is the core belief behind pushing is that it's not going to happen easily and effortlessly, so I have to struggle. And if you listen to the first part of the show, what we were talking about is we must lay down our swords, we must lay down the struggle. Love is what we create with. That is our tool that we conquer with now. And so, no, the reason, you see, when things start being so hard and having what appears to be resistance in the world showing up for you, you better know there's a belief or beliefs in place in you that are creating that. Because the belief always comes first, guys. The belief always comes first. And then the world shows up to mirror your belief that you need to let go of.
Or you lost me.
I lost you?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Lainey. Dee was answering your question. I think she's... Hello? Are you still there?
Hello? I'm still here. Yeah,
okay.
I just temporarily lost my voice.
Okay, well, look at your words. I want you to look at what you're saying. I lost my voice, and that's the answer to your question. If you're having resistance in your life right now, you've lost your voice. Use it. Speak up for yourself. Say what you want to say. Anybody that has thyroid issues, issues in their neck, lymph nodes, anything around, your neck and head area, a lot of that has to do with I'm not using my voice. And I'm going to a male in your life. Are you married?
Yes.
Okay, well, you better use your voice and speak up and say what you want to say to him. Just resonating with you?
I have been for 49 years.
What?
I have been for 49 years.
Using your voice?
Yes.
Okay. When I say you're speaking your truth, though, I get a no. And because of the question you asked me, you're using your voice to push what you want to say, but you're not really saying what you want to say. So that's taking me to a core belief on this sheet that I work with. Hang on, because I've got to get there. This will give you some good decisions.
And only on Brilliant Essence do you have amazing, gifted people like this.
Okay, so what it is basically, and it's a lot of what we've been talking about today, is the belief that your intellect, your mind, and your heart can't speak the same truth. All right, because we are off balance of male and female powerful energy. And that goes back to love and force again. There is a confusion in you that you do not have to force what you are saying, that you can literally come forward and say it from the intention, with the intention of love. Speak your truth from love, and that will create what you want. So we're claiming that. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, that's absolutely true. In other words, we're to stop that part of ourselves that's stopping us from speaking when we are to speak, because we do have the words there, and they are appropriate and suitable and exactly right for that moment. And we are not to go into fear or to allow ourselves to think that there might be a reason why we shouldn't say it. We should just go ahead and do it.
Yes, from the intention and the
from
power
the intention
of love.
Right.
Not,
well, you see, in this case, I'm assuming it's coming from spirit.
Well, you are spirit, guys. Let's again. Why do we need to separate ourselves? Spirit.
Well, because we always have.
No. I need to say this. Because that's saying if spirit doesn't come through us, I have no power. I have no discernment. I don't know what the truth is. You are the truth. There is no separation of energy. There is only one whole. So when we know that we are the voice, then we can trust our own voice, and that's the highest place we're getting to. You see? So when you know that you are spirit coming through your voice with love, then you can trust your voice, and you don't have to go into the force that you think you have to go into to state your voice. That's beautiful. That's exactly where we're going. So anybody listening right now, if it's hers, it's yours, it's mine, it's ours. So we are claiming unconditionally the balance around all of this, the knowing, the acceptance, the acknowledgement that I am the voice of the voice.
I'm so proud of this show. I'm really proud of this show.
Well, this is huge. What you just brought in here, baby, is huge.
Yeah,
so I come forward in heartfelt thanks and gratitude for you bringing this part of the information together.
Well, I accept the compliment with humbleness. I really know. I'm really enjoying this because I have to explain a little bit to the audience here. We're speaking with Dee Wallace, author of Bright Light and incredible, amazing actress, and Elaine Fidjic, who's a trance channeler, if you will, who heals and who has connections with the Pleiadians. And I and Elaine do a lot of channeling together over Skype, and we do a lot of healing, etc. So this is a powerful, powerful show. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, because, guys, it's your duty to know, it's our duty to know that our voice now is the voice. And we must take our power of that knowing out into the world. Because if we doubt our voice, we're giving people who are looking to us for the truth the permission to doubt their voice.
Yes, and in uniting in these families that we've been doing for the past 5 years.
Yes.
But in these close families of like vibrations, if you will, helping each other. Guys, you've got to help each other. You've got to turn around to your neighbor, and if you don't like your neighbor, move. Find your own family. But seriously. All right. Hey, we've got 2 minutes left, I believe, or no, someone extended the show. Great. I think we have 11 minutes left. Thomas. Thank you for that. Any questions out there? Please call.
I didn't do it. I wasn't even there.
Seriously. Okay.
Well, you
there
were
you go.
Happy.
I guess we stopped time somewhere in the middle.
That is how it works. When it's something that's being said that's appropriate and necessary for many people to hear, then sound or the time slows down so that more people will have the access to hear it.
Well, I'm claiming that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, but I think it's true. If we're talking, about things that are, this is really an awesome conversation, and it's really important that a lot of people could listen to this. And it's up to them whether they do or don't, because we can't make them do anything they don't want to do. But if they did, they could benefit from it so much, because it says so much with actually not going into a lot of detail. It's really just basically what you're saying is your love.
Yes, it resonates through love, exactly. And we're always complaining that there's not enough people on the phone to listen to us as we speak. But I'm compelled to read another excerpt of the book, so I'm opening up to... Chris looked up, blinked, and said, "No, you got it wrong, Doc. You should... Oh, okay, hold on. Well, I remember visiting a very big specialist who looked me straight in the eyes and said, 'I'm sorry, Dee, in my opinion, you'll never get pregnant.' Chris audibly sighed and put his head in his hands. 'I'm sorry, Mr. Stone.' Chris looked up, blinked, and said, 'No, you got it wrong, Doc. You should have never told her that. She's relentless.' He was right, and I knew it. I'm going to stop there because, well, then it says, I knew that God and I were going to make that baby, which ultimately happened. But what I want to go back to is your amazing, amazing husband.
Yes.
Would you like to share a little bit about of him with us?
Well, he was my soulmate. He was my best friend. He was the first teacher in this concept that I had to direct the energy of my life. He was involved in practice called conceptology, which in essence was the beginning back in the 30s of all of this stuff, and knowing that you have to direct the energy consciously to create your life. And later on, of course, I found the I Am discourses, which says the same thing. Your I Am presence cannot create for you what you want without your clear direction of it. But Chris saw me for who I was, accepted me for who I was, cherished me for who I was, and empowered me for everything that I could be.
Oh, Dee. Of course, he's still with you, so shut up.
Oh, no, I know that. The tears aren't from love.
Sorry, that came straight from him.
The tears are from the re-experience of this great love. When you move back into the great experience of love, whether it's, the light filling you up, or... That's why we all want to fall in love, guys, because we experience the love that we know that's the truth, again, through somebody else. And I'm saying, can we love ourselves enough to experience that love of ourselves, that we're filled up as much by ourselves, with ourselves, as ourselves, as when we are when a beloved other, right, comes forward to love us.
Right.
So Chris was all those things to me. He was the catalyst in my life to create all my greatest joys. And, yes, I feel his support and love every day, always.
Yes. He's often quoted saying things so simple, like Elaine said, and so profound at the same time, at just a poignant moment, you know.
Yes.
This book is amazing, guys. Grab yourself a copy. It's called Bright Light by Dee Wallace, and you've just met her live. I've got the chills, and my heart is so open right now.
Thank you. I'd like to invite everybody to visit my website, which is iamdeewallace.com. It has the information about all my shows and a lot of free stuff and sharings and musings on there, and all my stuff about acting too.
So when's your next workshop? Where can we meet you next?
Well, actually, I'm doing a 2-day seminar this weekend teaching people how to do my work, and the next webinar is on clarity, which I think we've seen from this hour how important clarity is. If you don't have clarity, you don't trust. If you don't trust, you don't have clarity. And you have to be clear that you are the creation and clear about what you want to create. So that is a webinar that's coming up the last week of July. It's $35 for a 2-hour live streaming event over the Internet. There's a lot of things offered, beautiful things offered on my website and free downloads, and I would just love everybody to join me. You can even order the book over my website, or you can go to Barnes & Noble or barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com. A lot of the New Age bookstores are handling it. So you'll find it if you want it.
I'm looking for your newsletter. Do you have one?
Actually, I have a blog, and if you are on my email, I send out an email once a week about my shows and when they're on and updates that I want you all to have and stuff like that. So if you would like to join my email, please email me at iamdeewallace.com and say, put me on the list, baby.
You are delightful.
Well, thank you. It's been a great joy being here with all of you. And, man, did we bring in that thing about the voice. OMG, guys. That was a big thing that we shifted right there. So thank you. Thank you for playing with me and creating that.
You're welcome. Dee, I'm going to ask you for your email address once again because I'd like to put it up in the chat room.
Oh, I would love that. It's iamdeewallace.com.
But where's the at? I am at deewallace.com.
No.
No. She's given her website, Astrid, iamdeewallace.com, and the email's right there under contact us, I'm imagining.
Yes, if you go to iamdeewallace, there's I think it's info at iamdeewallace.com.
Okay. I was at your blog. I was all over the place.
Well, I created my blog because there's so much, like you said, that we're moving so much energy right now that literally by the time I do the Monday show, that has opened up so much energy that Thursday's show is entirely different and new. And in between now, there's big things that I want to bring out, and that's why I created the blog. So I'm just trying to, we're all trying to keep up with this fast-forward, open channel of expansion here, which is so exciting for all of us.
Everybody's exploding.
Wait a minute. Dee, when Astrid gets confused like that, I always have something I play. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
I love it. See, and that's the most important part of creation is humor.